All right, I'm Matt.
And I'm Kristen. Welcome to The Nightly from Hatch, a slumber party for pop culture lovers.
Hello, Kristen. This is one of my favourite shows. This one, partially because it's with you. That's always one of my favourite shows. But we've also got a Drowsy History this evening that I'm very excited for. But before that, how are you?
I'm doing great. In the season of life where I've decided that long johns are just clothes. So I am dressed head to toe right now in long johns. I'm not even using them as underwear. They're outerwear. They're loungewear.
Okay.
Long johns all the time. That's who I am. I'm wearing them right now. I don't even know if you can tell, but I'm wearing long johns.
Well, I can purely by your energy. You got long john energy. It's my least favourite pirate, actually. I love that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, why not wear a union suit? Why not wear long johns? It's that time of year. Why not, right?
Yeah, and it's great that you can and you feel able to, because I have tried, particularly playing football, because I play five-a-side football on a Tuesday, and it's getting really cold, so I put sort of long johns on under the shorts, and then just got a barrage of Bragg's wearing tights again, and I just can't deal with it. So I've just got cold legs now, but I'm going to work towards it. I'm inspired.
Yeah, own it. Enjoy the long johns. Enjoy not having cold, wet legs this time of year.
Yeah.
It's very brave and manly, I suppose, to wear shorts year round, but you don't have to. Long johns have been around for centuries. You can wear those as well, but
yeah, I think it's just toxic, isn't it? It's toxic men. Got to have cold legs.
I get it. In my home state of Minnesota, anytime it was even slightly above freezing, everybody would put on their shorts and be like, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, when someone's from somewhere that's got a cold winter and they go somewhere it's not quite as cold and then start going, oh, you call this? This is roasting, mate. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I remember back in my youth thinking like, oh, yeah, I'm going to wear ballet flats and no socks because it's above, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what I would do. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. Kids and their fashion. But anywho, yeah. Matt, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, can't complain. I did have actually a bit of an awkward one yesterday, which I've been dying to get off my chest.
Oh.
I did a corporate gig up in Glasgow, and it was a big corporate gig, and I won't say what for, but it's like a global sports thing, and so there's about 700 people there.
Wow.
As a couple of professional athletes, and then I was the entertainment afterwards, and you kind of get introduced into the room. So at the start they said, right, Matt, we'll introduce you first. You've got to have dinner with everybody, so you get introduced into the room, and then you take your seat at the table, have your dinner, and then do the show. So they introduced me, and I was wearing a really nice like corduroy Fred Perry shirt with a suede, like a Lennon style jacket, like the military jacket.
Ooh, nice.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice combination, I think.
Very fashion, very high fashion, very dapper.
Oh, thank you very much. The one thing I didn't consider though with that get-up is the sheer amount of resistance between suede and corduroy. So I got introduced into the room. There's big screens as well either side of the stage, so a camera follows you in. 700 people going, okay, comedian, here he comes. Walked out, got to my seat, and I thought I'd just take my jacket off while I eat. And I've tried to slide it off, and it just won't go. So I got one arm half through. And then I was sat next to the wife of the head of this organisation, and I said, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to pull my jacket because I'm stuck. I can't get out. All this is going on the big screen. The applause is dying down. And I start sweating. And then I just thought, so I bailed and I just sat down with my arm in the jacket like that.
Oh my God.
I just thought I'm just going to have to wait until the sort of heat dies off here. But it was horrendous, Kristen, I'll be honest. I've never felt so uncomfortable in my whole life.
I'm just picturing it. Your arm all kitty wampus, your elbow half in and half out. And
Kitty Wampus, that's a great one. I've never heard that before. What's that mean?
It's like it's a mess. Kitty Wampus, it's all over the place. Things are not lining up right. And
I'm amazed I've not heard that before.
But it's almost like you were wearing Velcro between those two fabrics together.
That's exactly what it was, yeah. Yeah, if you ever need to keep a shelf on the wall or anything, just put suede and corduroy together and it'll stay up there. That's not going to move.
Matt, I think this is just the universe telling you need to switch over to long johns all the time.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, maybe that's what this is. Thank you for clarifying.
Join my club. Join us. We welcome you, Matt.
I'm joining. I'm joining any sort of black tie dinner from now on. I'll be there. Pair of long johns. So, Kristen, as I mentioned earlier, we've got Drowsy History today.
Yes. Neither of us were alive for this one, Matt, but it does involve both of our cultures. Both the US and the UK are involved in this particular topic tonight. The topic is the British invasion. Specifically, I'm talking music, pop culture, fashion, Beatlemania, the British invasion of the 1960s.
What a brilliant topic to cover. I am so looking forward to this.
So am I. I am an enormous Beatles fan. I have been ever since I was a kid. Back when I used to babysit a lot, I used to, no offense to people who love the Wiggles and children's music, but I would put the Beatles on instead for the little kids because I loved the Beatles and little kids love the Beatles. So pro tip out there, if you babysit, if you have nieces and nephews who like listening to terrible kids music, put on the Beatles instead. Beatles are great.
I love that you're nurturing proper music taste in kids. I think that's great. I also love that you think there might be somebody out there who's offended that you don't like the Wiggles. Very careful to cover your back there.
For anybody who's actually in the Wiggles and listening to us right now, no offense. What you do is a service to many, many children in the world. And
this might come as news to you, but you're not the Beatles.
All right. So to tell tonight's story, we have to rewind a decade back to the 1950s. So what's happening in America in the 1950s is rock and roll, mostly Elvis. Elvis is the biggest export from America culturally. And the UK is eating up Elvis. They are loving all the rock and roll stars from the US. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Buddy Holly, all these 1950s rock and roll dudes with their guitars who are going hard, who are going loud. The days of Benny Goodman and the clarinet are done. We're talking kids wearing blue jeans, T-shirts, maybe having greased back hair, smoking cigarettes. You know, the whole rock and roll 1950s thing is happening. America loves it. The UK loves it. The world loves it. But the Brits are thinking, why can't we create something that's this explosively popular and export it around the world? And for over a decade, the UK is trying. It's just not working. The US, we don't care. We're just like, we got great rock and roll here. And the UK, there are a few acts here and there that seem to be popular in certain towns and areas of the UK, but it's just not going global. But then in 1963, the Beatles play for the Queen Mum in her annual show.
The Royal Variety Show, I think that's December.
Yes, it's that.
Yeah,
and so the Beatles come out and they perform for the Queen Mum at the time, which I think is just hilarious. The idea of the Queen Mum, who in my mind is always 125 years old. She's no longer with us, but she always was.
She was a loose cannon as well. She was like a cigarette smoking, brandy drinking lunatic, apparently.
Yes,
great
apparently. And apparently she said a lot of stuff that was very offensive.
I don't doubt that.
So this gets broadcast in different parts of the world. Snippets of it get broadcast. And the US coverage of it is like, isn't this funny? America is starting to get fascinated with these Beatles, with their mop top hair, with their skinny suits, with their Chelsea boots, and with their beautiful harmonizing. The news clips are making people very, very intrigued, very, very excited, especially girls. Teen girls in particular are just going wild. And because this excitement is building up so much, the US label for the Beatles decides we're going to release their album in America a few weeks early. We're going to release it on Boxing Day, on the day after Christmas. And that just happens to coincide with winter break. So it becomes the soundtrack of winter break all over the US that year. And before you know it, millions and millions and millions of copies are being bought. And the news starts to cover it in the new year. In January, I think it's January, the following year, 1964, Walter Cronkite, newsman extraordinaire, coins the term the British invasion. Then, of course, the Beatles, in February of 1964, make their big performance debut on a TV show. Do you know what show it is, Matt, that I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Is it the Johnny Carson? No, not Johnny. I get all my late night people muddled up.
Also, this is way before we were alive, so it's okay if you don't remember. It's Ed Sullivan. Ed Sullivan. Yes. And he had the most popular talk show. People loved Ed Sullivan. So he brings on the Beatles to perform a couple of songs. So, the actual broadcast, over half of Americans who have TVs watch this, and it becomes the most watched thing in American TV history. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the Beatles didn't just appear once that February. Because they were so huge, the Ed Sullivan Show said, you know what, we're going to have them on every week for 3 weeks straight. And people got so excited. They would look forward to it, get around their TVs. The records continue to fly off the shelves. People start emulating the Beatles look, the hairstyle, the clothes, the Chelsea boots. And the mod look starts to take over the US, the mini dresses, the geometric prints. And the Rolling Stones, of course, the Zombies, one of my very favorite bands of all time. Do you know the Zombies, Matt?
I do know the Zombies. Yeah, I lived in a flat just around the corner from the pub where they formed.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a little starstruck right now.
Yeah, there was a little blue plaque on the wall.
Oh my gosh. When my husband and I got married, we walked down the aisle to a zombie song. We love the Zombies. Really? Yeah, the Zombies are great. And other bands that came out of that time, the Animals, so many bands.
They came
of course, yeah. So the Brits are now taking over the US airwaves. Half the top 10 songs are now British songs, not just American rock and roll songs. And the British invasion also starts showing up in the pages of fashion magazines, in movies, on TV shows. People are eating up those Liverpool accents of the Beatles, but also every British accent in the world. Suddenly America's like, that's so sophisticated. Love that Essex accent. So pretty. And it's just a complete cultural infatuation, a full takeover that, in my opinion, has never gone away. America has had a love affair with British pop culture ever since then.
I think the time when it happened, like you said, culturally across the board, it wasn't just music, was it? It was such a cool time. Because I assume that was when, like, Michael Caine was coming through.
Oh, yes.
All that sort of set of actors who were just very, very handsome alcoholics who were very charming.
Yes, and they just oozed cool. And
yeah,
as an American, I'll just say this. We are such suckers for British things where I was kind of making fun of the Essex accent, but in America, we frequently will just hear any British accent. It doesn't matter if it's a Northern accent, if it's Midlands, wherever it's from, and we'll be like, oh, that is so beautiful. You sound so sophisticated. You sound so smart.
I enjoy doing this show. It's the only time that happens. So I'm happy to accept that.
And I also feel like I should note that there was another second British invasion that some people call the Manchester invasion that happened back in the 90s in the US also. And it started with the Stone Roses, the Sundays, all these other bands, and then expanded into Blur and Oasis, who we've talked about before, Matt.
Yes.
Where some people called it the second British invasion.
Yeah. It's weird though, isn't it? Because it never, although on this last tour Oasis did stadiums, I think that's the first time they've ever done that in the US, because it never really caught in the 90s. I feel like it was so close, but they made a couple of missteps.
Mostly by hating each other so much, Liam and Noel. They did have a reputation for just imploding all the time in the US.
That definitely didn't help. There was that famous show at the Whiskey A Go Go,
Yes.
which is I think that's the point where you can sort of pinpoint that was the night where it just. I think they drew a line under the US then and thought, well, we're never gonna crack it.
Matt, for those who aren't familiar with that famous Whiskey A Go Go show, can you explain?
So they had this show at the Whiskey A Go Go. It's like iconic venue and a big stepping stone to break in America. And long story short, they were all under the influence of various drugs and then were all playing different songs at the same time because the road crew were also under the influence and had laid out set lists that were different for each member of the band.
So bad.
And there's still videos now you can watch where it's chaos. You just, no one knows what's going on. And I think, that was the point where it went wrong for them over there. But how much do you think, with all of the British bands, the personalities and interviews that they did, kind of how much of an impact did that make? Because they all seem to be, all those bands that did all right over there, like the Beatles, The Who with Keith Moon, all the interviews were they're all really funny. Noel Gallagher's really funny. And I feel like you don't get that from the vast majority of musicians. So it might have been a bit of a different thing for people to see, like musicians in that kind of environment.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really interesting time in the media environment, if you think about it, where television was really reaching its peak, where everybody seemed to have a television suddenly. And so people weren't just reading print interviews. They were seeing clips of these various acts being interviewed, and people were seeing the audience reaction. And then on top of that, the Beatles were so smart. They had film crews making movies about what they were doing, semi-fictionalized movies, of course, like Help and so on. And that added to their mystique and also added to just the saturation of the media landscape of, oh my gosh, the Beatles are everywhere. And so that was very smart. There were also documentary crews that famously followed the Rolling Stones. And then, I should mention the ultimate crossover band, the Monkees, which had both Americans and Davy Jones, who was the Brit in the band. They had their own TV show, which was very, very popular in the US, the Monkees TV show.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So there was this kind of media savviness that started to develop in the 1960s around a lot of the British invasion bands.
Yeah, I spoke, especially in that sort of 50s, where that proper rock and roll, it's kind of, if you're a musician then, it's cooler to be a bit more dismissive of interviews, I think, and not really engage. And that's the whole attitude of the music, isn't it? I'm getting pretty sleepy after all that, so I think it's about time to turn in.
Yes. Sweet dreams to you. I'm going to fall asleep thinking about the Beatles, but only the good songs. Good night, Matt.
Night, Kristen.